For the giant number marquee, this is 2 digits. 6 11-inch quads, and they are inflated to 9 inches. You can go up to a bigger balloon inflated to 9 if you want the bottom to be very well built. And in between each of those quads, that's a quad, we have 11-inch quads inflated to 5.5 inches. Then we're going to have a second tier, and that has 3 quads, 1, 2, 3. And they, just like the bottom, are inflated to 9 inches. They're 11 inchers inflated to 9 inches. And in between, it's the same thing. It's 11-inch balloons inflated to 5.5. So this is going to go right on top of here. In order to have this sit nicely, we're going to put a sort of a spacer. So it's a nunchuck. One end of the nunchuck has a single balloon, maybe 7 inches, maybe 6. You can experiment. Tie these well so they don't come off. And then we have 5-inch balloons inflated to 4 and 3 inches. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of make something for that top level to sit on so it doesn't go too cattywampus. So I'm going to take it, put it here. I'm winding it around the back, and then this makes a nice little embellishment here in the front. And then I'll do it again. We need 2 of these, one on top of this baby quad and one on top of this other baby quad, which is nestled down in there as a spacer. So again, I'm just going to put it right on the middle of the baby quad here. And I'll wind it around right to the front. There. And I'm going to take my cord, secure the end real firmly with a figure or a double knot, and make sure there's no looseness to it. And then I can secure the top. So I'm taking it sort of next to the mini quad over here. I'm going to do a double knot, which is you put it through once, you pull it nice and tight, make sure it's gotten through all the balloons. You might have to spread the balloons to do it, and then you do another one. Nice and tight. So when you tug, nothing happens. And feed it up through here so it's taut. And then you can take the top one. Let's see. We are doing it this way. Okay, and the idea is to get this spacer down in here. It might be drifting to the back, but you get it right in the middle, and then you're going to do a nice squishy thing. So you're going to take this up and through. And the trick is, without burning them, you don't want to yank it too much, but you want to part the balloons and pull the cord up. And then, on the other side, take the cord down in between the balloons. All the way to the bottom. So it's kind of a lot of cord. Okay? That's pretty good. Inflate the foils on a foil inflator, and you'll notice there are holes where you can attach cord, but I wouldn't use those because they rip. Take a, I like 260s for this. I'm going to tie it once around. I'm going to do a double knot, though. I'm going to go again. Okay. All right. This has 1, 2, 3 tabs, but I'm not going to use them in the middle. I'm going to use this and that, and then I'll be able to rock this back and forth once it's attached to make it straight. So I'm taking one end of the 260 on one of the tabs. I'm not using the middle tab. Use the left and the right one, and that way it's going to be easy to make it even. So now I can stretch this through here. I'm going to put it where the other number is going to be able to touch it later so we can put them together. I'm going to stretch it through these 2 quads, how well you can see it, and see if it's flush enough. Take it through one, gives me a little more slack. Take it through the other. Let's see, get the string in the middle, straight across-ish. That's pretty good. So that's going to stand pretty straight, and I can adjust it this way or that. So it's a judgment call where the numbers go, depending what the numbers are, but you want them to be able to touch and be adhered together. So I'm not going to put the 6 way over here and have a big gap between the 6 and the 0. Instead, I'm making the 6, taking the 6 over this way, kind of close to where the 0 is. So you can see these are not very far away. I didn't put the 6 way over there. The 0 is close enough to the center, even if it has a few on the outside, and the 6 is close enough to the center. Now the 6 isn't quite straight. I'm going to straighten it a bit. Oops. Okay. If ever you really don't have enough with your 260, you can use another 260. So what I'm doing here is this came apart, so it's fine. Just attach another 260. Right? It doesn't need to be double 260s like that, so I'm going to trim it a skosh, and then it should be just right. So that should be just right. A little more play with that. Good. Now you'll notice they're easily touching, but I'm also going to adhere them together with adhesive and an H-tape on the back. So I'm going to take the glue, figure out where they're touching, and that's where you'll put the glue. Stick them together. Now I'm going to do an H-tape on the back. If I put this on the floor, I do have a bag under it to keep it from getting dirty. Use clear tape. That's across. I made plenty of it. That's the up. That's the down. Okay. And so I have it in the shape of an H. See how it's the shape of an H? Okay, then where the adhesive is, I'm going to place it. I'm going to take it and to where that is, to where that is, and to where that is. And then just for good measure, I'm going to do a further in H right here, close to the joint, so it's really not so much going to come apart. There. I made 15 nunchucks. Each one has 3 on one end and 3 on the other end. Tied securely with a 260. Do a torture test, make sure it won't come off. Okay, don't just figure 8 it, you got to tie it in here. It's like 4 inches, 3 inches, and 2.5 inches. That's like a 4-3-3, so it's small ones on each end. And I'm just going to go in and place these strategically. There's sort of a gap in here that needs to be filled. I'll probably fill an 11-inch with air to do that, but now I just want to make it pretty. So you need to wrap these around enough that they won't come out. So they always need to be around something. So I'm not just sticking them, I'm wrapping it around where the middle of the quad is, and then if there's a little one of these nipples showing, I'm going to hide it. I want you to look and find any tabs and tape them down. So take the clear tape and tape them. You can always untape. This one has the nozzle hole, but it's okay if you need to fill it in. If you need to fill that in, when you fill it with more air, you'll be able to undo the tape and get to that nozzle. But you want to tape them down. Look at the picture in the online store to make sure it's complete. There's something missing. So that's the picture in the store. What's missing? This one.
Not every marquee in the store has an 18-inch foil, so check.
So as a final step, you always want to do quality control and make sure the picture that they saw in the store is what's going to arrive. So I'm going to use adhesive and H-taping to put this on.
To make that 18-inch balloon sit straight, you need 2 attachment points.
So then have a look and see how well balanced it is. There's white on this area, and this area, and that area. There's gold throughout, there's black throughout. If it's not supposed to be a chunk design, if it's random like this looks good. I think we need a little something over here. I'm gonna build up a little bit here, and then we're done. And you see it has embellishments here, and it's standing nice and straight.